subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to get all my latest writing tips and videos. And remember, be original. Be a writing original. What's up everybody, Adrian here. Welcome back to part 2 of who should have creative control on a movie, who should make all the decisions. In part 1 we talked about the movie studio, who owns the movie studio, the board of directors, and we left off at the CEO. And in this video we're going to be talking about the different types of producers and all the staff that they hire, and trying to pinpoint who should have most of the creative control. I understand it's a collaborative effort, but you know, you have all these bad movies because there's too many cooks in the kitchen with all these different recipes, and who should override and have the most creative control. So we're going to pick it up with that. And no, I did not forget. Shout out to all my writing originals out there. Hope you are working on some original stories and works. So now we can begin the part 2 of this video. So let's recap what a movie studio CEO is, aka an executive producer EP. We'll compare it to a producer and then move down the food chain in the hierarchy, okay? So, executive producer or CEO is in charge of hiring for the movie, managing and organizing a movie. He secures funding, maintaining a schedule, management, accounting, or associated with legal issues, copyrights, or royalties, contributes to the film's budget, but not out of his own pocket, based on what the movie studio and board of directors allow him to spend. Okay, and he usually does not work on set. He oversees the work of the producer on behalf of the studio, the financiers, or the distributors. Okay, and can't forget about the shareholders. You know, they're a big thing too. So, CEO will ensure the film is completed on time, within budget, and to agree on artistic and technical standards. So, okay, I guess we're getting a little bit into the, you know, creative control, artistic and technical standards. All right. He often owns the rights to a book or a story idea, or secures at least 25% of the film's budget. Rarely has creative or technical involvement. Okay. I understand. Okay, so he's the hands-off guy. All right. He just handles like the, you know, the money, you know, stuff to keep the board of directors and the owner of the studio happy. No, I get it. Okay. And are often caught up on several projects at once. He also receives scripts from a movie agent that reads all the scripts, and then, you know, he picks like, you know, a dozen or so, a handful, hands it off to the executive producers, and then executive producer reads it, and then he maybe picks one or two and hands it back to the board of directors and says, okay, this is the movie that I think we should make next. And based on that, the board of directors, talking it over with the head of the movie studio, says, okay, well, how much money are we going to give this guy to set a budget? And, you know, based on the movie he chose, what is the profit it's going to bring in? So based, if the executive producer can do a good job, then the board of directors will decide, you know, will we keep him? Will we fire him? What is the tone? What is the direction of the movie we're going to go in? So, you know, now you're all caught up. So now, what is a producer? Now, he is hired by the executive producer to ensure that the movie is made correctly and that everything goes smoothly. So he's the hands-on guy. Okay? They create an initial budget and runs the logistics during the production. In a sense, they're the equivalent of a project manager in a modern company. He's the on-set supervisor of everything happening on the film or show. Every department head reports to the producer. He also collaborates with the director, to ensure everything needed to realize the vision of the project is available and meets the budget. So now we're getting a little bit deeper into the creative control. The producer maintains the budget financed by the executive producer and supervises, coordinates, and schedules all main components of the project from development through the distribution release. He shepherds the production from start to finish. In a typical arrangement, the producer develops an idea or script. Oh, okay. With a writer. So he develops an idea or script with a writer and secures the necessary rights. He often hires the director. Wow. I did not know that he often hires the director. Supervises casting and assembles a crew. Oversees the budget and then coordinates the post-production work with and then everything from editing to commissioning music to encouraging the film's stars to plug the movie on talk shows. So this guy he does a little bit of everything. And, I'm not sure, I'm sure that he doesn't, every movie producer doesn't only hire the director. I'm sure if a movie studio, wants a specific director, they ultimately, make the final decision because, like I said, the producer must talk everything and get permission from the executive producer. But then the executive producer must get permission and talk it over with the board of directors, and they talk it over with the head of the movie studio or the conglomerate that owns the movie studio. So it's the hierarchy, but a producer is getting closer to who has creative control and makes all those type of decisions. So let's continue. Here is a chart I want to point out so there's no confusion about the difference between a CEO, executive producer, and a producer. So an EP is the top executive of the operations. A producer is the manager of the operations. An EP prepares the budget, acquires the trust of investors to fund the movie. A producer makes sure that the budget provided by the executive producer is utilized for the film creation. An EP hires the producer. A producer hires the people with the right talents and skills for the movie. An executive producer directs the producer to make sure that the movie is completed on time. A producer lays out the day-to-day schedule, makes sure that the schedule is followed. An EP is less hands-on, may not always be on set, has an advisory role when it comes to the creative aspect. See, now that's important. He has an advisory role when it comes to the creative aspect. He oversees scripts because he has to choose from the scripts that the talent agent gives to him. And he deals with the legalities and marketing of the movie. A producer is the hands-on guy, always on set. Supervises all aspects, technical, technological, physical, and creative. Dun, dun, dun. So I think we figured something out here. So the producer is the first real guy that we came across in the hierarchy that says hands-on, always on set. And he supervises all aspects. Count them. All aspects of everything I mentioned, but most importantly, creative aspects. All aspects of creative. So now we're getting somewhere, guys. We're getting somewhere. So let's finish this off. Executive producer, not eligible for awards. Producer, eligible for awards in the industry. Okay, great. So let's continue. So now we finally made it to the different production staff. We're going to move down the hierarchy, and it's very interesting to learn this, because if you guys, the screenplay writers ever, sell a screenplay, you got to deal with one of these guys eventually. So let's get right into it. So, we had the executive producer, but then there's a co-executive producer. He applies to studio executive or distributors who have a limited financial stake in the project. A co-producer works under the producer and often helps with casting, financing, or post-production. So he's right under the producer. Now under this guy, or this person, is the line producer. He's on set at all times to supervise the budget, but has little or no creative input. Okay, so don't worry about this guy having creative control. Works with the producing team and handles the budget specifically by tracking and logging expenses. So he's the bookkeeper. Great. Then under this person, associate producer is a largely honorary title. So basically, AKA nothing. Sometimes it's a form of recompense for exceptional performance on set. Help above the line producer with various tasks throughout the production process. Okay, so he's nobody. Now, a script doctor, I came across this person, and this is very interesting. I actually wouldn't mind to be a script doctor. So he saves a bad script. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, for example, might be granted an associate producer's credit. The title is also frequently in an expensive way for a producer to pay back a favor or reward an assistant or colleague who had little to do with the film. As David Mamet wrote in State and Maine, an associate producer credit is what you give to your secretary instead of a raise. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, let's continue the hierarchy. So now, under the script doctor is this person, a production manager, not involved in any of the creative work. Great, we don't got to worry about this guy ruining the movie. So, but he deals with such as making sure the gear and equipment arrives on time. Great. Under this person is the assistant director, managing the shooting schedule and keeping the crew on track each day, as well as queuing up the background actors. Under this person is the director of photography, okay, aka the DP or cinematographer. Works with the director on bringing the look, feel, and mood of the film to life for your audience. DPs are responsible for the lighting decisions and the quality of the light, such as its shape, intensity, position, and color. They provide input on camera angles, lens choice, and movement. DPs will also offer insight into which camera to use during production depending on several factors. Okay? He might have some creative control since he works with the director. Then you have the camera operator, that's self-explanatory. Next person under him is the camera assistant, self-explanatory. Let's continue down the ladder. So we're going to finish off with these handful of people. And starting with the gaffer. You heard of the gaffer many times, but what is it? Works with the director of photography to help shape the light. Essentially, gaffers are in charge of lighting and will place flags, nets, or diffusion filters on lights to control their color, softness, and intensity. Manage the grips and electricians on set. So they manage the grips and electricians on set. So what is a grip? Who's under the gaffer? He develops and builds the set for a movie. Works primarily on the complex equipment which supports the cameras and on lighting. So none of these guys looking like they have any creative control, which is good. Under the grip is the electrician. Under that guy is the DIT, the DIT, the Digital Intermediate Technician. DIT is what many people call the most important role on set. Really, most important role on set. Is responsible for transferring the filming data on the camera's cards to hard drives. And there you go. Okay, so no creative control. Under this person is the art director, which is self-explanatory. Under that person is the boom operator. He's the one holding the microphone on the pole wearing headphones. The boom op's job is to get the microphone as close to the action as possible without the equipment or its shadow showing up on camera. He's pretty familiar and important. Under that person is the production sound mixer. So that's going to finish off part 2. In part 3, we're going to get into the big guys. The director, the talent, and the itty bitty screenwriter. And we're going to sort this all out and figure out who truly has and should have the creative control on a movie. So until next time, thank you so much, guys. And don't forget my motto. I hope you're applying it to you, to your writing work, where story comes first. That's the only way to be a writing original. So, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like, share this video, hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and also check out my other videos. And I hope to see you next time.